right, guys, welcome back. I hope you're enjoying trying to figure out how to get your school online. Please know that if you have any questions, email us. We have hours that your parents can contact us if you have some questions. Check the resources, your materials section for a document that'll tell you when we're going to be in our office and when we're going to have times that we're actually contacting students. And definitely make sure you're making those conferences, because that's where your teachers are, Ms. Tickle and I and Mr. Kennedy will be able to help you with questions that you have. So make sure that you're checking in on those times, because that is your attendance in school. That's how we know you're doing your work. So be sure that you're following all the directions and that you're checking in with us when you need to and when you're supposed to be there. All right, so let's see how this Roman Republic finally changes. We are here. So we have Caesar. He's been killed. He tried to make himself dictator. He tried to change the Republic into a dictatorship, but that didn't happen. He gave it the best shot he could, but that didn't happen. So let's see what happens, how it's going to change. It is going to change to a republic. It's going to fundamentally change its government. And then Rome is going to grow politically and economically. So that would be the political part where we would fill in on our grapes, but we're doing something different with that. You'll get it. You'll have instructions on that. And economically, that's our money. How much money do we have? Where are we making the money? Where is this coming from? All right, so that's what we have. So let's dive right in. Lesson 2. Okay, so to officially end the republic, we need somebody to step in and change the government. And when Julius Caesar was assassinated, the government did not change. It stayed the republic with the Senate, with the 3 branches of government. However, later that does change, and we get Caesar Augustus. Now, after Caesar's assassination, there's a lot of chaos. Of course there would be. Somebody was killed on the government floor. That was a problem. So 2 great leaders come forward to try to take control of Roman politics, and they want to settle things down. They're trying to make it better. One was Caesar's former assistant, Mark Antony. Notice I said Antony, not Anthony. There's no H in that one. The other was Caesar's adopted son called Octavian, and he later got another name called Augustus. So we see that these guys are having a time. They're trying to step forward and trying to bring stability back to the government, but it's really hard with all the chaos that was there. You're reading about some of this chaos in your bell work. Please keep up with your bell work, because that is referring to how all of this is going to end, and you're finding out the chaos that they're trying to fix. So please be following your daily notes in the resources, the materials section. Make sure you're following your daily lesson plans. Okay, Antony and Octavian. Okay, so here's the same picture that you have in some of your readings. And their main priority for them after Caesar's assassination was to bring stability, and they needed stability because the people are in chaos. So one priority for Antony and Octavian was to punish the men who had killed Caesar. They had committed a crime. The murderers had thought they would become heroes because they were bringing back the republic, but instead they were forced to flee for their lives. Many people loved Caesar. Remember, his army loved him. People thought he was great. He was a good speaker down in the forum. And after he died, many riots broke out everywhere. And in order to end all the chaos that followed Caesar's assassination, the Senate had to act quickly. We just have a minute. Come on in. At Caesar's funeral, Antony delivered a famous speech that turned even more Romans against the killers. Shortly afterward, he and Octavian set out to try to avenge Caesar's death. Their army caught up with the killers near Philippi, which was a Greek city-state, but now it's part of the Roman Republic. Now, and in 42 BC, Antony and Octavian soundly defeated them, and they killed the last of his murderers. So they were trying to bring order back and get everything together. We were talking about the changes that were happening and how that Octavian and Antony wanted to provide stability. And so here's kind of what happens with this situation. Oh, I just covered her up. Let's move me over here then. Cleopatra, she plays into this story. So in 40 BC, Antony marries Octavian's sister, but later he divorces her to marry Cleopatra. That does not go well between these two gentlemen. It makes them enemies, so to speak. And so that's not their only issue, but that was like a big issue. And because these two guys were so popular and so powerful, civil war broke out between the two of them. who's going to follow Antony, who's going to follow Octavian, and there was a lot of chaos between these two guys. So people choose a side and they begin to fight. Antony takes off in a boat. He's a naval officer as well, and he takes off in a boat and he's headed to Egypt. He's going to get some help from the Egyptians. And the two, Antony and Octavian, fight at a navy battle of the Battle of Actium. And it's at this battle that Antony is defeated and Octavian is left as the only one. So Octavian goes back. There's more to the story. Antony does make it on down to Egypt. There's more to that story, but we'll talk about that later. Octavian goes back to Rome, and he becomes the sole ruler of Rome with limitless power. Nobody wants to challenge him now, and he's able to do whatever he wants. So he doesn't want to take on the name of dictator because that didn't work so well for like Uncle Caesar, right? And so he took the title of princeps or first citizen. He wanted to be known as a citizen of Rome, but he wanted to be the top citizen of Rome. Octavian announces that he's given up his power, which is what the Senate wanted, but in reality, that's not how it worked. The Senate gives him the name Augustus, or revered one, and the Roman Republic officially ends at this point. That is the big deal of this story. 27 BC. You can't hardly see that because my head is over that, but there we go. 27 BC. Octavian announces that he's giving up his power, but that's not what happens. He keeps his power. The Senate and all the other branches of government are still there, and they still take care of the daily workings, but that's all under his control. He is telling them what to do. He's telling them what laws will be passed. He's telling them what punishments are going to happen. He is dictating everything that's going on, and he names himself that emperor of Rome, and he is the emperor of Rome now. Now we have had that fundamental change. Now it is totally a new thing. The government is changed forever, and it is now the Roman Empire, not the Roman Republic. And we're going to look at their territory in just a minute, and you'll see that they definitely had an empire going on. So think about it. How long was a dictator usually in power for? How long were they able to stay? Right, 6 months. So when Julius Caesar named himself dictator for life, that was a big change. How did that change? All right, so thinking about that, then why is it significant that Octavian didn't take the title of dictator? Think about how long they could reign, how long the dictator was supposed to be there for. Then Julius named himself dictator for life. Why is that significant then that Octavian didn't take the title of dictator? He gave himself a different name. Pretty sneaky, huh? All right, remember we'll talk about this during the conferencing with all your teachers. Every teacher, no matter who's your teacher, you got to conference with them at some time. So remember that's what we'll be doing. All right, it's now somebody else's turn. Let's tickle. Okay, last take. No, last take. There's 2 last takes. Okay, final take. Okay, guys. Miss Tickle's struggling with technology here. Surprise, surprise. Okay, let's be serious here, right? The Roman Empire grew to control the entire Mediterranean world. And we had already learned this in chapter 11, that the Roman Empire was beginning to take over all of the Mediterranean Sea and the lands that surround it. So this is no surprise to you. Remember, background knowledge, right? So what we're going to do together here is we're going to color code your map to show the expansion of the Roman Empire. And if you don't have the colors that I say at home and you have different colors, that's fine. If you don't have crayons or markers or colored pencils, that is fine too. Maybe they're here at school in your locker. It's okay. We're not going to stress about it. So if I say to color an area purple, maybe you want to put circles there. Or if I say to color it purple and you don't have it, you want to write the word in purple. That's perfectly fine too. We just want to see the expansion of the empire in the bright colors that I'm going to put on the screen so that you can see the magnitude of this empire. So we are going to start first with purple. So in purple, we have the area that has the straight lines. This is going to be just this little center of Rome right there. So if you can, if you don't have the purple, maybe you need to
I don't know, put a star on it. That would work too. The next color that we are going to go for is going to be red. So red is going to cover the expansion of the Roman Empire. So this area here is going to be red. And of course, you guys have the ability to color so much neater and nicer than I do, because this is actually kind of difficult on the computer to do this. So coloring down here to the boot, got to get Sicily, got to get Sardinia. And then we're going to continue on over here, down to Macedonia, Corinth. And that is all for your red. The next color that we're going to do is green, and this is going to be the final years of the Republic. This is where Julius Caesar brings more of the empire into play. So we're going to make this green. We are going to color down here green, Carthage, coming down here along the coast of Egypt, and we're going to get Asia Minor. And this area over here labeled Syria. Okay, and then our last area is going to be yellow. Let's see. So yellow is going to be the completion of the Roman Empire. So that's going to be all of this darker gray area here. Okay, so again, your coloring gets to be much nicer than mine. Okay, so now you can see with all of the colors how much of the empire and territory was taken up. What I will have you do now, if you have blue, is right here we are going to, oh, it didn't come up. Let's try that again. In blue, no, it's not working for me. Let's see. The Romans called the Mediterranean our sea because they controlled all of it. Now, for some reason, this is not, whoop, that just undid all of my coloring. Guys, you know, you love me. I give up, right? Okay. I hope you didn't give up, but I have to give up so that we can continue on with the video. Miss Hodges is over here laughing at me, but it's okay. So our sea is what they called it because they gained control of all of it. We're going to move on from this map now. This map is determined to be the death of me. Okay, the Roman Empire still grew to control more of the Mediterranean world, but this is where we're going to see the Roman conquests promoted trade. So it's still good that we have trade going on. To pay for their trade goods, Romans used currency or money made of silver or gold.
Good afternoon or good morning, faculty. Thank you again for coming out for our open time here at setting. Again, we have finished at 10 o'clock at this time. Our custodial staff will be cleaning, and we also need to prepare for our meal service. So again, we need for all instructional staff. Please gather what you need, and we will be reopened again for you on Thursday if you'd like to come in. Have a great day, and thank you very much.
Take two. Okay, so now we're going to talk about trade and economy. This is what we would have filled in our E section of grapes. So Roman conquests promoted trade. To pay for their trade goods, Romans used currency or money made of silver or gold. This way, the Romans could trade with people no matter what they had. Nearly everyone accepted Roman coins, which helped trade grow even more. So if you take a look over here at the picture, you can see some of the neat coins that were used during the Roman Empire. And we are going to move on. So now we're going to see some of the goods that Rome sent out and some of the goods that were sent in to Rome. So the Romans traded with their provinces, and we want you to write this in. So you're going to write in, this is what Rome sent out to the provinces. They sent out jewelry, glass, clothing, and currency. We want you to write in all of these items right there. And then Rome's provinces, oh, sorry, some pictures. Some jewelry, some clothing, the currency. Now we want you to write in what Rome's provinces sent in to Rome. They were able to give Rome metals, cloth, food, spices, and silk. There's your spices. There's your silk. The Pax Romana. We love the Pax Romana. The Pax Romana is a vocabulary word. It's an important term to know. You want to know that it is about peace for 200 years. So I'm going to read you this quick excerpt. It says, the Pax Romana. The first 200 years of the Roman Empire were a time of general peace and prosperity. That is essentially the definition of the Pax Romana. So let's underline it. Several characteristics, such as stable government and an organized military, helped the empire to thrive and maintain peace during these years. There were no major wars or rebellions in the empire. We call this peaceful period the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. It lasted until AD 180. So remember, 200 years. And this is of peace. That was my peace sign, or attempt at one. During the Pax Romana, the empire's population grew. Trade continued to increase, and many Romans became wealthy through this trade. One effect of these changes was an improvement to the quality of life for people living in Rome and its provinces. When we have 200 years of peace, guys, we are going to see things prospering. We are going to see things thriving, economy strong, trade is good, people are happy. So, your hot question is, what was the Pax Romana? How did quality of life improve for people in Rome and its provinces during this time? Make sure you guys are answering this with good, thoughtful answers. Even though we're not in class and we're not able to check them, we will still be checking in to see what your answers are during our conferences. So we miss you guys. We love you guys. We hope that you're getting some good rest and you are keeping up on your studies, as we know that you are having a new set of challenges put on you with this responsibility that you have to take on yourselves. But we know you guys can do it, and we are so proud of you. And hopefully we are going to see you guys soon. Love you all. Bye.